Good morning, everybody. You are listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. We have the distinct privilege of having the Massachusetts Division I girls softball, oh, I just spiked that mic there, girls softball state champions, the Lady Tigers from Taunton High, and with Coach Raposa. Coach, so what we can do, first let the girls introduce themselves. And then the first question I had for you, Coach, if you can just give us a little history about, where you are right now, where you played ball, besides, how you came up through the ranks to get this position. But first, I thought it'd be pretty cool for the girls to introduce themselves, name, rank, serial number. No, I'm not kidding. And here we go.
I just want to let you know that
Sure.
Happy birthday, Lucy. and I want you to know the stripper just came.
Oh, wonderful!
So I want to let you know.
There goes the PG-13 show right there. Just threw that right down the tour.
Hey, thank you all for the kudos and
Oh, yes, happy birthday.
love, everybody. And special thanks for the cake.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Sue.
Sue, yep, she had a lot to do with it.
She had a lot to do with it. Thank
Yep.
you so much. I'm missing Casey and Joe.
Yep, Joe, yep.
But Justin is here, and we want to welcome you girls into studio. This is going to be a lot of fun. So, go ahead.
All right, thank you. That's all right. I can't believe that derelict came through the door like that and started all that trouble. He's got some nerve, huh?
He's a great guy.
He is. Dave Kane's a great guy. So when we do that, why don't you girls just introduce yourselves and just say your name, position, what position you play, stuff like that, so they can put the name with the voice. You know what I mean? So it's almost like they're being interrogated right now.
That's too much of an exaggeration.
So, did I say that right? Kayla?
Casey.
Casey. Why don't you go first, hon?
Okay. I'm Casey DeMora. I'm a senior, and I'm the catcher.
Anyone can go first.
I'm Eva Venturelli. I'm a senior, and I play outfield.
I'm Kylie Plum. I'm a senior, and I play outfield.
I'm Haley Crocta, and I'm a senior, and I play first base.
So we have a Haley and a Kayla. Did I say that right?
Casey.
Casey. All right, cool.
And
All right.
Coach?
Yes.
I'm Michelle Raposo. I'm the new head softball coach for Taunton High.
And Coach, can you tell us a little bit about your background, like how you got started from the time you went to high school and had your rest of your softball career and stuff like that, and when you went to college, all that neat stuff.
Sure. So I started playing. I started a little late in the game, so I started playing when I was 8. I know a lot of the kids nowadays start playing when they're a little younger. I was originally I played third base and I pitched. I never really pitched after my freshman year in high school. My freshman year I played freshman JV. I pitched predominantly then, and then when I wasn't pitching I played third base. My sophomore year I started playing third base for Taunton High, and I played third base from sophomore year to senior year. I was a captain my senior year. I went on to go play in college, but I didn't have the heart to play anymore. So
what happened? Because you won your state title your senior year, right?
my sophomore and junior year, we won our state title.
Yep.
My senior year, we lost our first round into the playoffs. It was a delayed game in the middle of a rainstorm, and we couldn't come back from playing after the big delayed game. We lost that first round, and I went on to originally to go to UMass Dartmouth for nursing, and I just didn't want to play anymore. I was burnt out. I'm sad, I regret it, so I'm hoping that I can, give the insight to these girls to push through it, even if you feel like you don't want to play, just give it a shot. So.
Now, what about your coaching career?
So I started coaching when I was younger. I used to help coach out the Taunton softball league, the juniors league. I umpired when I was a kid. I was really involved in the youth programs. I started coaching at Taunton High 5 years ago. I helped Coach Fox with the 8th grade, 9th grade, so the freshman team. Then I coached the JV team, and I had to take a few years off because I had two more little ones. So
Nice.
Now I was coming back this year to help coach under Carrie again, but Carrie stepped away. So here I am, ready to coach the varsity program and hopefully bring it to the same competitiveness that it's been for the past few years. So
Nice.
yeah.
So, Jess, why don't you go? I know you got a couple of questions. You know me, I'll just wing it as we go.
Yeah, I know you will.
He's loud. Oh, that's the headset. How's that? Is that
Oh, is that better? Am I lower
Perfect.
now?
Was it you? It was the
Perfect.
headset set on the
Oh.
mic.
Okay. So, how's training for the upcoming season of softball going?
So we've been having captain's practices once a week, and then we're starting to do some weight room stuff too. So it's kind of just a way to like get all the girls together and get the younger girls to kind of step in and see what we're doing. So the captain's practices are just run by us. Coach isn't there, and then the weight rooms we have a few teachers that help us out, but it's mostly just us, and it's just kind of a way to like get team bonding going before the season starts. So we've been doing that.
Nice. So that thing will swing. I know that for when next time. Yep.
Okay.
All right. I don't want you to take it and break it. If you break it, there's something wrong in the studio. So what about the rest of you girls? Do you have any insight on what he just asked? You know what I mean? I thought we'd go down the line because you all have your own opinions.
Yeah, so we just do the captain's practices. We try our best to trying to get everybody that's like involved in the program into the captains and the lifts, and we just want to like we want to be like one unit no matter what team or anything, and especially before the season it's important to like especially the 8th graders to get them to be coming in and like welcome them to the program and show them what it's all about and be like a very like supportive group and just have everyone together.
Nice.
So it's like always good seeing new faces, especially like the younger girls, and they always come and they always have like bright smiles and they're always willing to like work their hardest, and it's just really good just getting everyone back together again.
What about you, young lady? If you don't, just swing that mic right over to you, hon. There you go.
Kind of basically what they said. It's good to see them all work like as one and like get back into it.
There you go. So did you guys, I'll just maybe just I could say show of hands, it could sound like we're in class, but I don't want to think like we're in class. Did all of you guys play your your 8th grade year at Taunton High?
Yes.
So what could you add, or what you think advice you'd give the coach for the young girls that you wish happened when you were 8th graders? Is there anything come to mind like, gee, I wish they did this when I was in 8th grade, or you know what I mean? Is there anything that comes to mind that you would like to see different? It ain't gonna affect your playtime.
I mean, there was really nothing. I think especially as an 8th grader, like we felt very welcomed, and like they always look to like put you where you're going to be best placed and like work as hard as possible to like get you to where they think you can be and where like your full potential. So I think, especially for me, like my 8th grade experience was great. Like I played for Coach Proposa, so I had a great experience my 8th grade year.
How about you guys? Do you guys see anything that you would like to see them change that you didn't see your 8th grade year? Anything come to mind? I'm just curious, you know what I mean? It's always good to add fresh insight.
I have something, but like it's kind of the opposite. But we kind of talked about this when I was in 8th grade. I played for Coach Lurie, and we did the like the clinics where we got to like work with the younger girls, and we talked with Coach Raposa. We're gonna try and bring that back. We hadn't done it the past few years. I think it was just like a mix of COVID, new coach kind of like out of the program, so we didn't really do it. But I think bringing that back would be great because even like when I was younger in middle school, I used to go to those and I met Coach Lurie, and then I got to 8th grade year and I got to play for him. So that was like really great to do. So I hope we can like bring that back because I really like that a lot.
There you go. See, Coach, we're getting insight as we go.
Oh, I know. It's
Getting
definitely
warmed
on
up here.
It's on the plans for next year. It was
Excellent.
too far behind the 8 ball, going in this year. So
How about you girls? Do you guys have any ideas that come to mind, or you guys are pretty much set and you just went with the flow? Sounds like you two girls just went with the flow and took it as it came and didn't really, you know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. At least they weren't ticked off or nothing, you know what I mean? At least they're still on the team.
they're still here.
Right, they're still here.
I think the biggest thing for kids growing up is I know when I played that I idolized a lot of the high school players because you just envisioned being this high school athlete for this town, and Taunton's a big softball town where everybody comes out and roots you on and cheers for you, so you just idolize a lot of the Taunton High players. So as a little kid you just want to go through the program just like the kids that actually played, so
Right.
it's kind of an honor to play.
Now,
I felt like that when I played.
Now, as far as, and as I told you before, I'm going to jump around as I mess with my my pen. Is there anything that you would like to see the MIAA change? Maybe more as a coach than a fan? Is there any rule that comes as far as, obviously girls softball goes?
I mean, I think the rules are pretty good. I know, I off the top of my head, no, there's not any rules I would
All right.
look to change.
I mean, because every night, like with every sport's different, you know, they still do the courtesy runner for the catcher, right?
Yeah.
Right? And they do that, I know they do that with the AAU girls softball.
They sometimes do, sometimes don't. It depends on, like, the tournament you're in, whether
Alright.
or not they have the courtesy runner.
I didn't know if there was something else that came up, because I mean, besides just going to the game, I haven't broadcasted the game in a while, so I didn't, and usually you get some insight of what's different about the girls softball. I don't know if something came to mind, because now they're National Federation rules.
Right.
And I think in the regular NCAA rules, when you played, the pitcher could, I know in baseball, the pitcher could have 1 foot off the pitching plate, and now you need to have both feet on. Oh, no?
They changed it.
again, yeah.
See, that's
so
what I'm talking about.
When
So
I was a
need to
kid, you had to have both feet on the rubber. They
Yep.
just changed it back so that way you didn't have to have both feet on the rubber to start.
Okay.
It's like
So.
start back, step back
Yeah.
type of rule.
Which I think would have helped a lot for me because I was a shorter pitcher. I needed a lot more,
Get up and go?
yeah.
Right.
So to keep my feet a little closer together, my velocity wasn't always there, but can't go back and change time.
Right, exactly. That's why I was curious more as a
Yeah.
fan, not just as a journalist,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
All right, we're about to take our first break. When we get back, you can call in 508-222-1320. You can also watch them if you're listening back home. I'm pretty sure you can pick up the station on the radio back in Taunton, of course, here on 1320 AM WARA, and on our website, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. You can watch them or listen to them as we highlight the state champions, the Taunton girls softball team. We'll be back with them and more right after this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk here at the news station 1320 AM Ava. We are currently highlighting the Taunton softball Tigers. And now my second question going into this is not to try to sound too similar to my first question, but what happens in preparation for a game?
So like preparation for the games, we listen to music. That's one of our biggest things. We've always had like a speaker, and we all just take deep breaths. We all have rituals that we do. We have eye black. We have certain like hitting stations that we do, and we just get ready to play. And we all go out there together. And we have this little like, rain? Yeah, we have this little ceremony like before the game. Yeah, we get in a circle and we do this like little like hand thing, and then we get ready to play.
I'm sorry, I'm texting one of the broadcasters right now. He's asking me a stupid question.
I think another big thing is like we just all try and kind of like help each other out and support each other when we're warming up. So if someone needs help with something, we're really good about like all talking to each other, make sure no one's nervous, and we don't really like think about the opponent too much. Like we try to just think about how we're gonna play and what we're gonna do, and always making sure like no matter how the opponent plays, we just play our best. And I think the music is a huge thing. We love to listen to music and just have fun, and we dance, and our rain dance is the best thing we do, I think, at home games because it kind of gets us going and gets us hyped up.
Oh, we have a caller. Hi, you're first on 4 Deep Sports Talk as we promote and highlight, the state champions, Division I Lady Tigers of Taunton.
Good morning, Double D. Thanks for having us on. First time, long time. Just wondering, these 4 young ladies sound like they're seniors in high school. Perhaps they could talk about what college plans they have and where they might be considering going after their career is over in high school.
Absolutely. So the question was, what is your career, in a nutshell, what is your career after high school as far as college? Thank you for the call.
Plans.
Yes, he just hung up. So if you guys want to elaborate on that, that was a great question.
Yeah. So next year I'm going to be playing at the University of Louisville in Louisville, Kentucky.
Wow. Nice.
So I'm
Good for
going
you.
there. Yeah, after that.
You're a
after
college
high
celeb.
school.
So Louisville, correct?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm going to be going to play at Southern New Hampshire University in New Hampshire.
Very cool.
I'm very excited for that.
Nice.
I'm going to play at Bridgewater State University.
Very cool.
And I'm going to UMass Boston.
Nice.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's
so
very
now-
impressive.
So like,
I want to know what all your majors are going to be.
yeah, me too.
I'm going to be majoring in exercise science, so I want to be a physical therapist.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I'll be seeing her soon.
I'm going to be majoring in elementary education.
Very
Nice.
cool.
I'm majoring in marketing.
Nice. There's our marketing person
There you
right
go.
there.
And I'm going to be majoring in criminal justice.
Nice. So
Wow.
not communications.
No.
All right. So she's burnt out with that. I hope Mr. Jakes isn't listening right now.
That could change.
Sorry.
Yeah, true. It all could change.
Yes.
It all could change. She might want to come in for the summer and do this and say, maybe I'll change it. But all right. So So again, this obviously works into my next question. So when did you get first? Let me ask you, Coach, before I go back to the girls. When can they contact these young ladies, and how does that work going through the school, these colleges that obviously have great eye on great athletic potential, picking these girls up at these universities? How does that work for you in the school for them to contact these girls?
I think we're still working on that. That's a big discussion we talked about this year about how we can better support the girls getting signed through, colleges, because a lot of them actually get seen a lot more through their travel ball teams, and try to get them back to some of these girls that don't actually, play travel ball or have dreams of playing, post-secondary or at college. I know they are. We asked coaches or from the local colleges to come out and look at them, but they're so busy with their own schedules that try to live stream the games. I know back when I played, there was a lot more live streaming, so we're trying to look into something along that avenue to better showcase a lot of these girls.
That's
It's a work
really
in
cool.
progress.
See, that's why I mentioned the other radio, the gig there.
Yeah.
That would
Yes.
but then again, it ain't a visual thing, so.
Yeah.
But you can't hear them when they knock one over the fence.
Right.
Hit that double, hit that triple, and make a great play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, are they supposed to contact Auto first before they reach out to you?
I don't know the protocol on that
Okay.
specifically. That's something I'd have to look into.
I was curious. I was just being a nosy journalist
That's
again.
okay.
So when did you guys get contact, and why did you pick that university?
So for like travel softball rules, they D1 and D2 schools technically can't contact you till September 1st of your junior year.
Okay.
So before that, you can go to camps and you can send coaches stuff, but they can't talk to you. So I did a lot of that. I went to camps. I played like a national schedule before that in the summer, and then on September 1st, when coaches started contacting me, you kind of just like, you can go on visits and reach out to coaches and see like kind of where you're feeling. So I went on a visit to my school. I think it was like the third week of September, and then I ended up committing that weekend just because I loved that school. It felt like home to me, and the coaches were extremely nice. I loved all of them. So that was kind of what was behind my decision, just feeling like I was at home somewhere, especially being so far from actually home,
Right.
that it just felt right for me there.
She totally took my next two questions out from what I was going to say. Before we go to the next athlete, what other schools contacted you?
So there was a lot of local schools that contacted me around here, and then some of the bigger ones I was between was Northwestern and Purdue. I really liked both of those. So I went to a visit to Northwestern. I didn't end up going to Purdue, but I really loved Northwestern too. It was like between Louisville and Northwestern in the end. I just think Louisville fit right better. It was like very home feeling. The coaches were amazing, and I just liked it a lot.
That's what you want. That's what you feel. Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right, Coach? I mean, that's what it basically comes down to.
Yeah.
All right, young lady, what about you?
So they reached out to me in like November, December. So I was a little bit like the September, October, I was still like kind of playing my fall schedule. And then in November and December, it was around that time they reached out. And I went up a few times, I practiced, and I kept going back. And, like, the second I got to the campus, I automatically loved it. And I knew at that moment that I was going to love it. The coaches are absolutely amazing. And all the girls, they're, like, each other's family. So that was really important that they were all very close-knit. And, like, I just fell in love with it right when I got there.
And what other schools contacted you?
Just some, like, local ones. And, like, I was looking at a lot of the schools in the NE10 to try to stay.
Oh, nice.
And around here.
Yeah.
But SNU was.
Are you a skier? Do you like to ski?
No.
I was gonna
I've
say.
never. I am so scared to ski or snowboard because I'll get hurt. I'm so clumsy.
That's just me being a knuckle. I'm thinking New Hampshire skiing, stuff like that. I'm just being a knuckle. I'm sorry. How about you, young lady?
At first, I wasn't gonna play in college because I don't know, like I just wasn't going to. But then I picked Bridgewater because I know the coach because she coached.
Oh, nice. So you have a little bit of insight.
Yeah, and
that's cool.
Coach Carey went on to go coach at BSU.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of.
Oh, she went to BSU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went on the visit and I loved it. It was nice. It's kind of close to home, but I know that I'm not gonna want to come home because it felt like home
Right,
there.
exactly. There's a lot of pizza shops in Bridgewater. I know there's a D'Angelo's downtown.
Yeah.
Wow, she must have looked at it and said, "Yeah, I want you to play." Right? That's cool.
It's cool because it actually motivated her to go and play in college when you might not have, wanted to.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. All right, young lady.
So the coach at UMass Boston, Dags, she was my assistant travel ball coach for a while. Okay. So I knew her there, and then when I started looking at colleges, she always really supported me in wherever I wanted to go. And for my first kind of visit or just look at a campus, she said to come up and just look at UMass Boston just as kind of a practice run.
Yeah.
And when I went there, I immediately loved it, and I added it to kind of my college kind of list, I guess.
Right.
And after really thinking about it and figuring out where I wanted to be, UMass Boston was the place I wanted to be.
Were you totally zoned in? How many other offers did you get? Or was that I'm in, forget about it, don't bother me?
I got a few other ones. I mean, I got offered from Framingham and Bentley, but Bentley doesn't have a criminal justice program, so I obviously can't go there. And it was really between Framingham and UMass Boston in the end.
That's so cool. Coach, that's pretty well. That's kudos to you and the other coaches that turned
the coaches before me. And I actually have a question for them. I know that college for a lot of these girls, they want to go on and play. What can I do as a head coach to support that a little bit better? I know some years in the past, it hasn't been the best support, and not because maybe it's we don't know how to support as well nowadays, because the travel teams, a lot of these girls are leaving the high school to go play the travel to get more exposure. What can we do at the high school level to expose you guys a little more?
That's a great question. She's hired.
Right?
I think what you said about the broadcasting and the live videos, I think we tried a little bit last year to have like the camera like behind the plate broadcasting the whole game, and we just never got it to work. So I think like that's important because we can use like that film on top of the film that we have to like send to coaches and have multiple stuff and that helps to just be able to send
So
extra.
it sounds like I need to get my crew down and do some of your games.
Sounds
we
like
don't
we
mind
need a
doing it.
lot of fundraising to get this fancy camera to zone in and.
But we can do it for we can
It's
do
like
it
a
for you, too.
$10,000 camera, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That Percy.
Yeah, and then they charge you crazy money to
Yes.
get oh yeah. 'Cause,
Oh, boy.
Middleborough's doing it in
Yes.
basketball now. Taunton's smart enough they're using the kids.
Yeah.
And I think BR is now trying to do that. They put a camera, 10 grand. Parents still have to pay to watch it. It's I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
guess.
But whatever. I'll mumble on. You think I'll need therapy, so I'm going to shut up right now. All right, we are getting ready for our second break. Right after the third break, Justin and I are going to run down the scores in girls and boys basketball. We have that from Friday night, but we want to continue with our interview. You are listening and watching, hopefully back home in Taunton and around the country, I hope. For Deep Sports Talk, we have the distinct privilege. We have the Massachusetts Division I state champions from the Lady Tigers from Taunton High School. We'll be back with them and more right after this. You can call in again at 508-222-1320. Again, call back when we get back. We'll be back with them and more right after this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk. We're going to continue highlighting the top on softball Tigers girls. And my next question is, what's been the best parts of the last season of softball?
I think the best part of last season was the team was so close. We were all with each other every single day. We were like each other's best friends. And I think the most fun part of it and the most important part was that we all came together and we completed the task that we were looking for, which was to win the state and just give our seniors that one last victory before they went off to college. So I think that was the best part of last season.
Nice.
I think also a big part of it was going into the season. It wasn't necessarily that we didn't think we were going to win the state, but we were kind of an underdog coming in. We had just had a monster group of seniors that had graduated, so everyone kind of thought that maybe this wasn't our year and we weren't going to do it. And we had a lot of people saying that we weren't going to do it and not putting us in with the top teams in the state. So we kind of used that as motivation to just work our hardest and be able to be every team that we could, because no one kind of thought that we could do it. So we knew we could, but a lot of other people didn't.
Hi, you're next on 4 Deep Sports Talk as we highlight the state champions from Taunton. Do you have a question?
Hi, yes, I would just like to ask the girls, they say that the climb is easier than staying on top. So, how do they plan with the current success that they've had over the last couple of years? How do they feel going into this season? How are they going to motivate themselves and work to stay on top and defend their title?
That's a great question. So she wants to know, I know you other two girls in there, she wants to know how you're going to stay on top and try to defend that state title. Coach, young lady, do you have another question after that? Hello? Nope, we lost her. That was a great question.
I honestly think it's just about taking it's one day at a time. It's not looking so deep into the future. It's just looking at one day at a time. What can we accomplish that day to make us better to get where we want to be?
Nice.
Kind of the same thing. I just feel like we need to get better and not look into the future. We need to take it day by day.
I think one, staying as close and keeping everybody as one and not in separate groups, and then also having that end goal in mind but not dwelling on it. Take the days and the games and the practices one by one.
There you go.
I think kind of also what Casey said, we did win the state last year, but that was last year. This is this year. So just being this is a new team, a new group of girls. So just because we won state last year doesn't mean that we're going to be that good every single game this year. So we need to take every opponent seriously and just focusing on this season and not worrying about what happened last season. Because if we just think in our minds, oh, we're the state championship champions, we're just going to win. That's not true. We need to still work hard and take every opponent seriously every game.
And you guys play in a very tough conference too. That's one of the hardest conferences in girls softball. So we have a first baseman, a catcher, and 2 outfielders. Did I write that down right?
Yes.
So I figure I'd like to know, and I think this is going to be good for the parents and the kids, your teammates listening back home and watching back home, hopefully on the YouTube channel. What advice, or I should say not advice, but what you personally, what do you want to work on, or what did you work on to get ready for this season?
I think a big thing, I play outfield, so I think a big thing is just my speed in the outfield, because living in New England, you can't really go take fly balls or go take that when it's snow on the field.
Well, you could, but it would kind of
You can, but if there's snow on the field, it's really not going to do much for you. So I think in the gym, just working on just getting faster and having quicker movements, and then as a hitter also just getting stronger, lifting and working in the cage a lot. So I've been doing that, and yeah, just getting faster in the outfield is a big thing. That's really the only thing you can work on with this cold weather, is just getting quicker.
Now, as an outfielder, what muscle groups are you working on? Are you just working on everything, just trying to not just stay strong, but stay strong?
I work mostly on my legs, just because hitting, I'm a power hitter, so I want to stay stronger in my legs. Throwing has been a big thing this winter. I've been doing a lot of throwing, because as an outfielder, you have to have a really strong arm rather than a faster throw. It needs to go longer distance. So just working on my throw and keeping good care of my shoulder so it doesn't get hurt or get worn out.
Nice.
I think during the off season, like Ava said, the lifting and the hitting, it's always good to stay consistent with that. So I've been doing that, trying to just get the reps in all the time, and especially the lifting part, from behind the plate, it's important to have a strong core and have strong legs, and your arms to get your throws where they need to be, and for the blocking. So when I have practices or when I go off by myself, I do my blocking and throwdowns, and just trying to get the framing and everything ready for the pitchers and help them as much as possible when I'm behind the plate.
What's the hardest thing about catching people don't appreciate?
I've never experienced that. I actually have been very lucky with the pitchers that I've caught for because I've grown up with the
Nice.
majority of them. So they're all very like good with working with me and me working with them and just communicating. I've always had very good like relationships with all of my pitchers. So
That's cool.
yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't think catchers get enough recognition for what they do for a lot of the pitchers.
So
I
you
know
knew where I
pitching
was going with
growing
that.
up,
Yeah, you knew where I was going with that
Yeah.
question.
If you don't have a good catcher, you're not a good pitcher. You know?
Yeah.
So.
All right, young lady.
Basically what Ava said, I've just been hitting a lot, and there's it's very limited inside the gym, so we just try to do what we can and get the reps in there too.
Now, how about the training, the weight training?
I work basically on my core and my legs.
Nice.
That's basically it.
There you go.
For me, it's more like working on my mechanics and just making sure I always stay sharp with them. Like I do pretty much every day, is like literally every day, just like taking like wall hops and like stuff like that. And then I've also been working a lot more like with my hitting this year and just like trying to like be ready for the upcoming season.
Right. Now, Coach, you had the privilege of playing probably with one of the better coaches, if not this best coach in high school girls softball, and Coach Lurie. And, you know, working your way up as an assistant coach and now the head coach, what do you think you need to do, or something that comes to mind that like, oh my God, I'm definitely doing that next year? Is there anything else, maybe mechanics or practice?
I think going back to the fundamentals and the mechanics on that, I think we can't, work on fundamentals enough. I think these kids, want to work on the plays that happen once, every 3, 4, 5 games. If they're comfortable with those fundamental skills and they're comfortable with, fielding any of those balls, the amount of errors that are going to happen are going to diminish. And once they get those balls or, something that comes their way that they're not used to, they can probably tackle it a little bit easier. But bringing back the fundamentals.
Now, who's on your, I want to make sure, I should have said this before, but I'm glad I actually remembered. Your coaching staff, what's your coaching staff consist in this 2023 year?
It's TBA, only because of the logistical things. So I'm in the process of interviewing the coaches that were on staff last year and seeing where we go from there.
How many do you want?
Currently, we have 3 assistants in the program. I'm looking for 4.
Nice.
So it'd be a volunteer type of, the 4th person would be like a volunteer coach.
Now, hopefully people ain't going to laugh at me too much back home, but you have 1 freshman coach, 2 JVs, and then they all help you out with the varsity.
So we typically have 1 freshman, 1 JV, 1 assistant at varsity.
Okay, but then of course they get to come up with you and when varsity game day.
Yes,
and
they
stay.
all come up once their programs have commenced, and then they come out and help for the postseason.
That's a long day for a freshman coach. You're there. You start at 3 or whatever the time is, and you're there all day. Right? That's funny. But that's
You're there
what
for the
it is.
commitment. You're there for the girls. You want to be there. It's not at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like a long day.
Now, are they doing anything? Are they doing any upgrades to the ballpark back home?
There has been talks of them potentially doing some upgrades. There was some talks about putting a turf field in.
Wow, turf field.
Yeah, I personally don't want the turf field only because I feel like it changes the game of softball. I know a lot of the girls are comfortable in the field that we have. I know when they built the field like way back then, so we do need to put a little upgrades there, but we're in the works of it hopefully in the next couple of years.
But you're not a fan of the turf?
No, I don't.
Is it because the ball moves faster sometimes?
It's a total different ball game in softball.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching the when the Toronto, of course, it's baseball. When the Toronto Blue Jays play and the ball hits the outfield and it like goes way over the infield, the outfielder's head as he's trying to play the ball. And I was like, oh, I'm saying, well, that's how naive I was. I was like, oh, that's like film photography. They're making that up. There's no way that ball's bouncing over his head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a different bounce. It comes off a little bit faster. It's your instincts are used to playing on a dirt field. So when you go over to the turf field, it's total different instincts, and how you approach the ball is different even.
Right.
I'm thinking infield wise, that's what I played, so.
Exactly. Oh, exactly.
It happens in the outfield too, the bounces,
Oh, it's crazy.
So, yeah.
I was waiting to see my other reporters reporting. Usually report in by now, but they must be sleeping. But so the younger girls, and we already talked about pretty much about how they're kind of fired up, and that's based off you guys. You guys do a great job, obviously, because they're making it more friendly, for these young girls to come in. Is it hard to motivate those young kids sometimes? I mean, you guys have great personalities, so they should warm up to you no problem. And then your athletic ability stands out. That's a separate animal altogether because you guys are so athletic and really good at what you do, hence winning a state championship. Is it so? You guys really have no problem. They're biting in. They're getting the idea of what's going on for the most part, even the weight room.
Yeah, it's like Taunton's very fortunate because we've grown up with basically everyone who's played softball, and we've all like known each other. But it's also like these girls are here to play. They're not here to just like be part of Taunton softball. Like they want to be part of the team. They want to have all the experiences, and they do put in all their effort all the time. So there's really no like need for the motivation. Like obviously we motivate them and help them, but they bring it their own, and it's just about having everyone work to the same level.
This is probably a dumb question, but with the basketball team doing so well, are they giving you any time in the gym to practice with these seniors? A little bit?
So we do have to work around a lot of our athletes that actually play softball. Some of them actually play basketball. So we have to work around their schedule.
Okay. Yeah,
so the girls practice for basketball Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. So the timing is a little bit more difficult. But it's not just basketball that we compete with gym time. We have wrestling, we have track.
Oh yeah.
We're fortunate at Taunton High where we have a lot of good programs. There's a lot of numbers within the program. So we have freshman JV and varsity throughout basketball. Wrestling, they've been really successful lately. So they use the upstairs gym. That's usually where we have our practices. So we're actually doing captain's practices on Monday nights.
Upstairs
to accommodate around everybody's schedule.
Do they have the portable hitting cage there too?
Yep.
That's one that gets elevated in the rafters sometimes,
Yep.
and they hold. Oh, that's cool.
We have two of them. They pull down. We have one downstairs, but we don't use it as much because of the wood floor.
Yeah.
We don't want to damage the wood floor.
God forbid.
Yeah. So we usually use the ones upstairs. There's 2 cages upstairs. There's the other half of the gym, so it's plenty big enough to do what we need to do inside.
All right, thank God I held that. We almost went to a commercial automatically. All right, you're watching and listening 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA. The state champs are in from Division I, the Lady Tigers from Taunton High. You can call them when we get back, 508-222-1320. We'll be back with them and more right after this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Four Deeps or Shot. Before we go back to our interview with the Taunton Tigers girls softball, Dominic and I are going to go over the boys and girls basketball scores from yesterday, Friday. It was the 20th, right?
Correct.
Okay, from Friday to the 20th. And I'm going to start first. You got the music?
Go
right.
for it, old man.
All right, okay. All right, boys.
The music's pretty cool.
All right, boys basketball. Bay State League, Weymouth 57, Newton North 51, Needham 74, Natick 53, Walpole 76, Wesley 68, Framingham 47, Milton 43, Brookline 70, Braintree 51, Capes and Islands League, Falmouth 64, Barnstable 50, New Bedford versus Dennis Yarman has been postponed, Nauset 80, Sandwich 46. In Catholic Central League, St. Mary's 103, Arlington Catholic 67, Bishop Freeham 63, Cardinal Spellman 56, Bishop Fenwick 50. Cathedral 64, Bishop Fenwick 55. In Catholic Conference League, BC High 51, Xavier 48, Catholic Memorial 66, St. John Shrewsbury 53, Madeline Catholic 67, St. John's Prep 52. In Hockomock Mansfield 83, Staunton 52, Franklin 67, Attleboro 47. Taunton's 87, Milford 63, and Taunton has a record of 7-3. Sharon 62, Oliver Ames 58, Foxborough 75, Canton 73, Mayflower Division, East Bridgewater 77, Southeastern 52, Westport 48, West Bridgewater 45, Patriot League, North Quincy 74, Quincy 32, Plymouth South 59, Scituate 35, Duxbury 54, Hingham 51, Wilmington 63, Marshfield 55, and Wilmington has a 8-4 record. Pembroke 46, Hanover 26, South Coast League, Dartmouth 56, Gray New Bedford 49, Durfee 78, Somerset Berkeley 42, Seekonk 53, Dayton Rehoboth 31, Apponequet 70, Joseph Case 43, Old Rochester 52, Fairhaven 41, South Shore League, East Bridgewater 58, Abington 51, and East Bridgewater has a 7-4 record. Carver 44, Cohasset 33, Hull 64, Mashpee 43. New Bedford versus Dennis Yarman has been postponed. In the Southeast League, Dartmouth 56, Greater New Bedford 49, Durfee 78, Somerset Berkeley 42, and Tri-Valley League, Norwood 63, Denham 58, Westwood 47, Dover Sherborne 43, Medway 53, Ashland 29, Medfield 66, Bellingham 51, Halston 68, Mills 49, and finally Hawkington 72, Norton 58.
All right, I'm going to run down girls basketball real fast. Bay State Conference, I'm going to do it even quicker than he did. The winners, Brookline, Framingham, Needham, Newton North, all won. Walpole and Wellesley was postponed. Cape and Island Leagues, Falmouth, Martha's Vineyard, Monomoy, Sandwich, all won. Catholic Central, Bishop Fiend, Cathedral, Bishop Stang, and St. Mary's all won. Catholic Conference, only have two of them. We have Notre Dame over Malden Catholic. Malden Catholic over Notre Dame 53-47. And Fontbonne beat Usselin 40-29. And I forgot to circle the Hockomock girls, but I'll just let you know who won. It was Foxborough, Franklin, and Taunton. They and King Philip, Mansfield, and Olive Rains, they all won out of the Hawk last night. Mayflower, West Bridgewater, South Shore Vogue, they all won out of the Mayflower League. Patriot League, North Quincy, Plymouth South, Duxbury, Whitman Hanson proves to 8-3, and Pembroke, they won. Finishing up South Coast Conference, Dartmouth, Durfee, Seekonk, Apponequet, and Old Rochester, they all won out of that conference. And out of the South Shore League, East Bridgewater, Carver, and I got my pages labeled for a reason because God knows I'll mess up a soup sandwich. And Hull won. Southeast Conference, New Bedford, Dartmouth, and Durfee won. Tri-Valley, Norwood, Westwood, Medway, Medfield, Holliston, and Hopkinton won. So those are your winners from Friday night. Not bad, huh? Oof,
way faster than me.
Right? I should have told you to do that. I'm like, why don't we just go down that way? But, you know. If you want to call in, 508-222-1320. We got about 5 minutes left. So, girls, I think it'd be pretty cool if we give, like, shout-outs to, like, your friends and family while we, you know, for all the hard work and all the stuff they have to put up for another high school season. I'm kidding, of course, but another great high school season. So, you know, whoever you want to shout out to, that'd be cool. Your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your favorite pet, you know.
I'll give a shout out to my parents, my mom and my dad. They're the best. They pretty much sacrifice everything for me to play softball. I travel a lot for my softball team in the summer and in the fall, and my mom goes everywhere with me, so she does a lot to be able to do that. And my dad, he stays home most of the time, but he's working and helping us provide to be able to do that. So I love them, and I'm very thankful for everything they've done for me.
That's cool. I love that. This is my favorite part of the show.
My parents and my grandma, I know they're all watching. My mom, my dad, they have, since I was little, have been there supporting me by my side through everything, every sport I've ever wanted to play, and especially when softball took off and all the traveling and being on travel teams and doing the tournaments and everything. They've always worked around their work schedules and everything to be able to be there with me and to bring me to all those tournaments. So I don't know where I would be without them. And my brother, but he plays hockey, so he travels all the time. But they've all been by my side through everything, and I love them all, and I wouldn't be where I am without them.
Them damn hockey players, huh?
Yeah.
I want to shout out my mom and my grandparents. They put so much time and effort into getting me to where I want to be and supporting me through it all. And also to Coach Consalvi to always pushing me to be the best that I can be and never giving up on me.
Awesome.
Fun little fact about Kylie, her grandfather used to coach me when I was a kid, so it's really exciting to be able to give back and coach her too this year. So
Isn't it crazy how time flies?
yeah.
I'm just going to shout out my parents and my coaches. Oh, and my sister. They've always believed in me. And I just love them so very, very, very much. And thank you, Coop, for everything you've ever done for me. I know you're listening.
How about you, Coach? Anybody you want to shout out to?
I have to thank my family right now. For me to take on this position wasn't going to be a sole thing for me. I have 2 little ones at home. I have a 14-year-old. So thank you to Jason for supporting me and, you know, being able to take care of the kids so that way I can, you know, help coach these girls and be alongside my older daughter that's going to be a Taunton High this year. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So before we're getting ready to take off in a couple of minutes, I know I can speak for us because I own the company 4 Deep Sports Talk, and Louis Cabral is my right-hand person. We want to congratulate you guys on a fantastic season. I wish we did this sooner rather than later. And I know everybody at WARA, almost got in trouble, WARA 1320 AM here in Attleboro, because they promote us, and they want to say, wish you guys a congratulations on last year, and wish you the best for this year. Of course, they hope you don't beat Attleboro again, or North Attleboro again, but again, congratulations. It's been a great, Coach, it's been great finally to meet you and you girls, and hopefully maybe we can work somehow where I can do some games and we can get down and really promote you guys, and they'll have a channel to go back to where they can watch you guys in action.
Yeah.
So all the best. You know, it was nice to meet all of you guys. Hope you guys had a good time on the show today. So this show will re-air on on TCAM back home and 35 different other access towns. For all of us at 4 Deep Sports Talk, we hope you enjoyed this hour of 4 Deep Sports Talk. We had the privilege of highlighting the Division I Massachusetts State Champions, the Lady Tigers from Taunton High. We will catch you next time. Everyone have a fantastic weekend.